Welcome to this video lecture series on transportation engineering. In this session, we shall discuss on the speed and delay study and the origin and destination studies. The first is the speed and the delay study. The speed and delay studies, they give us the running speeds, the overall speeds, the fluctuation in the speeds and the delay in between the two stations of the roads. That means it actually gives us an practical speed of the vehicle while it moves on the road, and the detailed delay study, what actually are the causes of delay while moving with the average speed or moving with an actual speed while traveling on the road. It gives the information such as the amount, location, duration and the causes of delay in the traffic stream. The result of this spot and delay studies, they are useful in detecting the spot of congestion or the actual spots where there is the traffic congestion or the delay in the movement of the vehicles. And this delay or the time lost during the travel period, it may be either due to the fixed delays or due to the operational delays. With fixed delays, they occur primarily at the intersections due to the traffic signals or the level crossings. And secondly, the operational delays, they are caused by the interference of the traffic movements, such as the turning of the vehicle, the parking of the vehicle, the pedestrians, etc. Now, the method of the speed and delay study. There are 5 methods of the speed and delay study. The first is the floating car or the riding check method. Second is the license plate or the vehicle number method. Third is the interview method. Fourth is the elevated observations. And fifth is the photographic technique. Now, in the first case, that is the floating car or the riding check method. Here, a floating car or a test vehicle, it is driven over the given stretch of the road approximately at an average speed of that road or of that particular zone. Thus, it tries to float with the traffic stream. That means it gives us the actual data that how a vehicle with that average speed, it moves on that particular stretch of the road or in that particular given length of the road, and what actually are the causes of the delay at that average speed for a vehicle while moving on that particular road. And a number of test runs are made along the study stretch, and a group of observers, they observe or they record the various details. Here, one of the observer is seated in the floating car with 2 stopwatches. The first stopwatch is basically used in order to record the various control points like the intersections, the bridges, or any other fixed points in each trip. Whereas the other stopwatch is used in order to find the duration of the individual delays. The time, location and cause of these delays are recorded by the second observer. Then the number of vehicles overtaking the test vehicle and the number of vehicles overtaken by the test vehicle, they are noted in each trip by the third observer. Then the number of vehicles traveling in the opposite direction in each trip, they are noted by the fourth observer. And this method, it actually gives the detailed information concerning all the phases of the speed and delay, including the location, duration and causes of delay. If you see that all the 4 observers, while they observe the respective data, and the compilation of this data gives us the exact scenario on that particular stretch of road, causing the delay in the movement of the vehicle at an average speed. The floating car or the riding check method, uh, here it can be calculated as, first is the average journey or the flow. It can be calculated as T dash equals to TW minus Ny upon Q, whereas the traffic volume, it can be calculated as Q equals to Na plus Ny upon Ta plus Tw, where T dash is the average journey time in minutes, Q is the flow of vehicle, that is the average volume in one direction of the stream, Na is the average number of vehicles counted in the direction of the stream when the test vehicle travels in the opposite direction. Ny, it is the average number of vehicles overtaking the test vehicle minus the number of vehicles overtaken when the test is in the direction of Q. And Q, as we know, is the flow of the vehicle or the average volume in one direction of the stream. That means whatever is the direction of the stream that we are considering, that has to be subtracted. TW is the average journey time in minutes when the test vehicle is traveling with the stream Q, and TA is the average journey time in minutes when the test vehicle is running against the stream Q. The next method is the license plate method. Now in this particular method, the synchronized stopwatches and voice recording equipments, they are used by the observer. The observers, they are stationed at two particular locations, say for example at an entrance and at an exit point of the test section. The timings and the vehicle numbers, they are noted by the observers of the selected samples of vehicles, and from the office computation, the travel time of each vehicle could be found out. For example, if the vehicle, it actually enters at a entrance point, the vehicle number is noted by the observer A, and he starts his stopwatch, and by the voice recording equipments like walkie-talkie or cell phones, the information regarding this vehicle number is being transferred to observer B. Now when this vehicle, it starts its journey from the entry point and it reaches to the exit point, the total duration of time taken by that vehicle is noted by the observer at the exit point, that is observer B. Now by the office computations, by knowing the starting point and the end point and knowing the total duration and the total distance traveled by the vehicle, the average speed and delay, it can be total delay in the traveling time, it can be noted. But however, this method is not accurate, as only the travel duration and the travel distance is known, but the actual delays of the traveling time is not known. Next is the interview technique. Now the work of the speed and delay studies, it can be completed in a shorter time by interviewing and collecting the details from the road users at that particular spot. However, the data collected, it may not provide with all the details correctly. That means the frequent users of the zone or the stretch of the road, at an random, they are interviewed, and the reasons of the delay in the traffic time or the traveling time, they are noted. But again, it has a limitation that whatever is the data collected, it might not be accurate. Next, elevated observation and photographic technique. This is useful for the shortest duration or the shortest test section, like the intersection where the traffic movement it can be observed at an elevated location, and the delay causes they can be noted. Next, we shall discuss regarding the origin and the destination studies. Origin here is defined as the place where the trip it starts or the traveling of the vehicle it begins, and destination it is defined as a place where the trip it ends. The object of the origin and destination study is first to plan the road network and other facilities of the vehicular traffic, and next is to plan the schedule of the different modes of transportation for the trip demand of the commuters. The important tools for the transportation professional is the origin and the destination study. The OD studies are conducted in order to understand the pattern of the movement of the persons or the goods in a particular area of their interest during a particular period of time. Now, the uses of the origin and destination studies. First is to plan the transportation system and the mass transit facilities in the cities, including the route and schedules of the operation. Next is to locate the expressway or major routes along the desired lines. Now, if we are known to the starting point of the trip and the end point of the trip, then depending upon these two points, we can locate the expressway or the major routes. Third, to locate the terminals and to plan the terminal facilities. Depending upon the origin and destination study, the location of the terminals and planned terminals facilities can be made possible as knowing exactly the location of the starting of the vehicle and its destination. Next, the location of a new bridge as per the traffic demands. And fifth one is to locate intermediate stops of the public transport. So, if it is known that at a particular station or at a particular destination, the total number of users from the starting point to this particular destination is more than on that given route, it can be planned that an intermediate stop of the public transport it can be provided. Next is the method of the origin and the destination study. First is the roadside interview survey. Second is the home interview survey. Third is the telephone survey. Next is the taxi surveys. Fifth is the postcard questionnaire survey. Sixth is the registration number survey. Seventh is the tax survey. Eighth is the public transport survey. And ninth is the commercial vehicle survey. So if you just observe the methods of this origin and destination surveys, here we can come to know that various nature of the users of the given road they are being addressed, and knowing their origin and their destination along the given length of the road, here one can make necessary changes that might be in regards with the provision of the intermediate stops of the public transport. Then by the taxi surveys one can come to know that what actually are the frequent destinations and from the origin that people they tend to move, etc. In the first case is the roadside interview method. So in this method, the interview stations are previously decided on the roadway, and the vehicles moving on the road they are stopped and at the interview stations by the group of person, and the answer of the prescribed questionnaires are collected on the spot. The general information which is collected by the roadside interview method is the first is the place and time of the origin. That means at what place they have started and at what time they have started their journey. Second, the place and time of the destination. Third is the route. Fourth is the purpose of their trip. Fifth is the type of vehicle that they are using. And lastly, the number of passengers in each vehicle. As you can see from the figure, a group of people asking this questionnaire to the people that who are traveling through the given stretch of road at the observation points. The advantages and disadvantages of the roadside interview technique are that the data is collected quickly in a shortest duration and the field organization is simple. That means directly you can ask the user of the road and you can get the data from the spot itself. Disadvantages are that the vehicles they are stopped for the interview and it can delay to the vehicular movement. Next is the home interview method. Now in this method, a random sample of 0.5 to 10% of the population is selected and they are visited at their home by the trained people to collect the travel data from each member of the household. The detailed information regarding their trip is taken by the members and the data is obtained on the spot. The data which is collected is useful for both the planning of the road network and other road facilities. Here is the picture showing the home interview method. The advantages and disadvantages of the home interview method are: first, the advantages. The problem of the stopping of the vehicles and consecutive difficulties they are avoided. Second, the present travel needs are clearly known and the analysis is also easy. That means what actually are the needs of the user of the road, they are known, and when the causes of delays or the requirement of the users in communicating through that commuting through that road is known, it becomes very easy in order to analyze and know the flaws in the traffic movement. The additional data, including the socio-economic and other details, also is being collected, which is again useful for forecasting the traffic and the transportation growth. Third type is the postcard method. Now in this method, the reply paired questionnaires are handed over to each of the drivers at a survey points and requesting them to complete the information and return the post. So a questionnaire is given to which the driver has to answer and he has to post the card back to the observers in order to collect the data and analyze the same. The advantage is that this method is simpler and cheaper than any other of the methods. And disadvantage, the response, it may not be good, or the driver who is answering to the questionnaire, he might not answer to this questionnaire with utmost seriousness. The sample of questions which are printed on the postcard is given. You can observe the questions. Next method is the registration number plate method. Now here the registration number plate survey, it consists of the registration number of the vehicle entering and leaving an area at the survey point located on the control line. Now by matching the registration number of the vehicles at the point of entry and exit of that area, it will be easy to identify the 2 points on the path of the vehicle. Here, if we know the starting point or the entry point of a vehicle by its registration number, and at the same time if the same vehicle number is observed at an exit point, then the origin and destination at these two particular paths, at these two particular points of the road, if it is known, then it becomes easy to analyze the frequent uses of that particular vehicle moving through that road. Advantage: the work does not interfere with the traffic in any way, as only the traffic number is being noted and no vehicle is being stopped. It doesn't causes delay into the traffic movement. And disadvantage: that large number of the observers they are needed in order to observe the vehicle registration numbers, and analysis of the results it becomes complicated, as n number of cars they might be moving and n number of registration numbers they will be noted at the entry and the exit points. So in order to analyze all these numbers from their entry point and that exit point, it becomes more complicated. Next is the tag method. Now in this method, at each point where the road crosses the control cordon line, the vehicles are stopped and the tag is fixed, usually under the screen wiper. Now the tags at the different survey stations have the different shapes and colors to identify the survey station. The vehicles they are then stopped again at the exit points where the tags they are removed. The time of entering and leaving the area may be marked on the tags in order to enable the journey time to be determined. The advantages is that this method is simple and the errors are not large. Disadvantage: it is not possible to handle all the vehicles and hence the sampling it may not be accurate. Next is the public transport method. Now in this method, the interviewer may enter the vehicle and carry out the interview when the vehicle is in motion. That means the interviewer he will be in a vehicle which is used for the public transport like the bus. The postcard questionnaire eliminates the delays but are likely to evoke poor response or contain an element or can be bias. And these questionnaires may also be collected at the stations inside the survey area. As you can see from the figure, the observer or the interviewer is traveling in the public transport bus and he or she collects the necessary data by the questionnaires asked to the users of the public transport in regards with its origin and destination. Next is the commercial vehicle survey method. So here the commercial vehicle surveys they are conducted in order to obtain the information on their journeys based within the study area. The addresses of the vehicle operators they are obtained and they are contacted, and the forms are issued to the drivers with a request that they record the particulars of all the trips they would make. Now the public transport as it moves from a fixed origin to a fixed destination, whereas in the case of the commercial vehicles, when they are being used by the consumers as the private vehicles, so here the forms they will be issued to the drivers which will have their questionnaire and they will record the particulars of their trip when they move on the road. The private vehicles, it might be the trucks, it might be the private cars, etc. With this we shall stop. Thank you.